Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and today's reading is a weekly love reading for all signs. I have laid out a spread, so let's go straight to the bottom of the deck, and we have got the World, a brand new start, a new phase, the tying up of loose ends and the starting of something brand new and fresh and exciting. It can talk about places in the world, it can talk about travel, or meeting people from other parts of the world. The World is a really lovely card. The imagery is one of wholeness, if you like. There's a big circle here, and that circle represents completion of one phase, which then allows you to start in a new fresh direction or a new fresh way. Whatever it is that needs to be new and fresh. Well, this is a weekly love reading. And so it would imply to me that if you have been trying to get over somebody, I think that looks like that's completed. If you have been not interested in love for a period of time, then I think that is completed. Now you're ready for something new. I think if you have been dating and not finding a great deal of success, I think that is completed and it feels like something new is coming in for you, which is really good news. I don't think I want to take another card to go with that. Now I think actually I'll take the top card. Wow, okay. So now we have the World and Temperance. These are big cards. Temperance is an angel, talks about balance and flow and the ability to be moderate, I suppose, but allow the good things to come in and just as well allow the bad things to go out. And this is what I was saying a minute ago. If there's been anything negative in your love life recently, then I think that is being tied up and you need to allow it to leave. That is what Temperance is saying. If there has been anything stagnant, that needs to be tied up and you need to allow it to leave. If there has been anything upsetting or heartbreaking, time to tie that up and let it go. So these cards are quite powerfully saying that you need to release something that has been negative for you in order to allow in something a whole lot better, which could involve travel or people from another part of the world. So this is a beautiful start to our reading. At the centre of the reading, we have the Six of Pentacles. This is the card of shared energy, reciprocity, if you like. It's the minor arcana of Justice, which is also a card of balance. But whereas Temperance is the ebb and flow and allowing things in and out in a balanced way, in a moderate way, Justice is talking about fairness, really. So they're slightly different. What is crossing the card of reciprocity is the Ace of Cups, which is a brand new love. So what is this saying? I think what it's saying is that for you, love has not felt very, very fair or evenly distributed in the past. That is one way of looking at it. That maybe you've never found somebody who matches you energy-wise or appreciation-wise in terms of love. That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is that you can't come into partnership in a shared way, a shared partnership, because this love is not being presented to you. Now, I do agree with that, but I suspect that if that is the case, if love has not been being presented to you, it is going back to what I was saying a moment ago about Temperance and allowing anything negative to leave first. So I think that is really what this is saying. There is a big, bright, beautiful new love out there for you, but you must release the negative energy from the past first, and then you'll be able to really come into a shared energy and a shared love. I think so. The aces are always divinely presented, so you have a gift of new love being presented to you, but you have got to do a little bit of making sure that you've released anything negative from your past. And in terms of what I'm talking about really, if there's been any sort of obsessive energy based around a particular individual that hasn't delivered you what you're wanting, it's time to let it go. If there's been a relationship that has not developed the way you wanted, or has stopped and started or stalled, let it go. If there has been something that was one-sided, where you were very keen and the other person didn't seem that bothered, let it go. It's time for something new to come in, and that is a gift. So that's a really good start, I think. That ties in really nicely with where we are. In terms of reading the Celtic Cross, what I generally like to say is these cards are now and these cards are future, just in case you wanted to know. On the face of things, we have the Eight of Rods. This is Cupid's arrows. It's also free-flowing communication. So if you're able to let go of things that have not been serving you in the past, then you are going to bring in a lot of free-flowing communication. And potentially you could end up being pierced by one of Cupid's arrows, which is just a lovely phrase, I think. Let's have a clarify, see who the communication is coming in from. I apologise for my voice, I'm a little bit growly today. I had a migraine yesterday, so this is a day late. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over it, really. Ooh, and I was talking about justice before. Well, okay. So, in terms of who's coming in or who's communicating, it could be a Libra, or it could just be somebody who feels the same way as you. Both these cards have sets of scales in them. I'm not sure if you can see. So this is very much a shared energy. This is a two-way street. This is what you're looking for. It's somebody who feels the same. And that is what you're going to be finding, is what it feels like. Somebody who feels the same, possibly a Libra, or even somebody involved in the legal profession. In the underneath position, we have the Queen of Rods. This is the feminine card for taking action, if you like. This is the dynamic queen, the creative queen, the intuitive queen, but she's in the hidden position. So if you've been wanting to take action, you haven't been doing it, or maybe it hasn't felt right, you don't feel able to take action. Well, interesting cards have come with it. We have the Four of Wands and the Hermit. Well, the Hermit is the Virgo card, but it's really the card of gaining enlightenment while spending time on your own. So it does sort of tie in with the position here. If you've been unsure of what you can do to take advantage of the cup of love that you really want to receive that isn't quite here yet, perhaps what it's saying is that you have been quietly working on yourself or gaining enlightenment as to what it is that you're looking for. You've not been shouting about this to anybody. Nobody else will know that this is what you've been thinking about. But I wonder if really what it's saying is perhaps you've known for a while that there has been an aspect of love that you needed to let go. Well, even more interesting, particularly if you've been in what you thought was a twin flame connection, because really the Four of Wands for me is the twin flame card. Now, if we read these three cards together, has the dynamic queen been doing anything about a twin flame connection? No, she's been quietly working things out herself. That's one way of looking at it. Has the twin flame connection delivered the dynamic queen what she wants? No, she hasn't heard anything from the masculine. That's another way of looking at it. So these three cards, really, they're talking about a hidden connection that has not come into being the way it should have. One person is isolated and it's left the other person powerless, basically, in this connection. That's what it feels like. That the feminine has been left powerless to do anything because the masculine has retreated, possibly. Or it could be the other way around, actually. I believe these energies are interchangeable. So if you've been in a twin flame connection, it has stopped. It's also been secret, because this is the hidden position. If you've not been in a twin flame connection, what does it say then? Let's have a look. You could have been in a connection with a Virgo who's not delivered what you want. There should have been some sort of possibility of happiness here, celebration between a fire sign feminine and a Virgo masculine, possibly. Because the Four of Wands is the card of, it's celebration really. It can represent, well, parties, even marriage sometimes. So there's something slightly off here. The Queen of Wands can't really get things going the way that she wants. She can't be as dynamic and creative in the current circumstances that she's living under in order to get to what she wants. And this is a love reading, and what she wants is love. So something has held her back. It could be a masculine, or it could just be a situation that did not develop and deliver the happiness and the great outcome that she was expecting, really, I think. So if you're a feminine watching this, this feels like you've had your hands tied on something. I'm very drawn to the ties on the top here. Your hands have been tied and you've just had to retreat or allow a masculine to retreat, which has left you thinking, where is the shared energy for me? Where is my cup of love? Yeah, well, so it could be that if you have been in that sort of situation, maybe communication is going to come in from the person who retreated, possibly. In the past position, we have the Five of Wands. This is other people. It's a problem. It's a problem that has come about, caused by normally other people getting in the way. So it could be that there were other people in the way of this connection. I think so. I think definitely. And I think that meant the whole thing had to be secret. And I think that's left you not knowing quite how to proceed. Now, just going back to these cards at the start here, how to proceed would be to let it go. Because that's what the general theme to start with, letting go of something that is not good for you, that has not delivered what you want, that has not delivered what you thought you were going to get, that has stalled, that has turned into something you don't like. So maybe you were hoping the connection would turn into a relationship, but you've been left in a situationship and you don't like it. And this is probably caused by other people, but now is the time to be releasing anything like that from your life so that you can start new and fresh again. In the future position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is working on your wealth, your health, your worth, but it's also the card of being alone, really. It's similar to the Hermit, I would say. They're not quite the same energy. The Hermit has gone off to find himself. The Eight of Pentacles is working hard to promote himself almost, or to improve his life. They're not quite the same, but this is a good card to find here. Let's take a clarifier for the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, I don't think you should be scared of being single in the future, particularly if you've had to let something go that wasn't suiting you or serving you. Oh well, here we are. And that's more or less exactly what I mean. The Sun is the best card in the deck. So there is going to be a period of time where you're going to be single. And it might sort of feel to you like that's a bit of a disaster. That's not what you wanted. But it is necessary in order to clear the negativity that has been in your life, either presently or in the past. In order to move from that, you do need a sort of correction period on your own, if you like, a recalibration of time on your own. And that will be really beneficial. The Sun is also the card of Leo. It talks of everything that's wonderful. And so don't view this period of time on your own as a negative. View it as a gift and allow all the good things that can come with working things out on your own and living on your own, and, you know, all the joy that can come of finding yourself again, which I think is what this is saying. In the personal position, we have the King of Swords. This is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, masculine. So if you are one of those signs, then you're in your best energy. If you're a feminine, it could talk about the fact that you're interested in a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, or they are interested in you, and maybe they are going to approach you. He's a clear thinking masculine. He knows how to take charge. He knows what he wants. He knows how to go about life. And he's got no qualms with cutting himself off from things that don't suit or serve. So if actually you're finding this part difficult, the business of being on your own difficult, no matter how good it is for you, then in a personal way, you will be able to separate yourself and cut yourself off, which is really good news. In the home position, we have the Hierophant. Well, this is Taurus. Can also talk of, well, the establishment, government, the church, marriage even. For some reason, I want to say locks and keys here. I know this is a love reading, but if there is something coming up to do with maybe a new home, because this is in the home position, then it could actually be that if you're moving home or you're getting the keys to somewhere that you're going to be staying, it could actually indicate that you're going to meet somebody around about something to do with where you're staying. That's really fascinating. I mean, that happens in books all the time. You move place, you live somewhere, and you meet somebody who lives next door to you. I know I've said this in a reading once before, but if it happens in books, it must happen in real life. So that's nice. That's something to look forward to. If you're not moving, well, I think it's the same sort of thing. I think it's saying that possibly a move is on the cards for you in the home. And granted, you might not be moving yet, but when you do move, it could talk about future here. The future home, locks and keys and future homes, possibly with a Taurian then. Let's have another one for that. It feels like you're quite tired in the home environment. So you're either tired of your home or you're tired at home. And it feels like something is coming to an end here. Nines are nearly at the end. Something to do with your home life is changing. The Nine of Wands is sometimes called the Wounded Warrior. So if your love life was tied in with your home life, which often it can be, I wonder if it's saying that that is something that has to happen too. I suppose if you've been living with somebody and it's not working out, then you will be having to deal with locks and keys and home situations going forward. It does feel like there's a change coming in the home area that is necessary. In the hopes and fears position, we have death. Well, this is an inevitable change, and you're hoping for an inevitable change. That is coming. If you're fearing the change, which I sort of said before, some of you might be, then it doesn't really matter. The change is coming anyway. It needs to this needs to happen. I mean, these three cards together are very, very clear. There is a new phase coming. There is a new start coming. And you do need to let things flow. There isn't really much you can do about this. So fearing it is sort of pointless, really. It's going to happen anyway. Let's have a clarifier for death. Queen of Cups. It's going to be good for you emotionally. If you're fearing that you're not going to feel good again, you are. If you're fearing that the change is going to be difficult for you, you're wrong. It's not. It's actually going to be quite releasing and potentially exciting, because at the outcome, we have the King of Cups and the Two of Cups. So this change that you may well be fearing coming in, the business of being on your own, of having to manage on your own, to live on your own, to sort things out at home, not only is it going to be good for you in many, many ways, but it could also be propelling you forward into connection, particularly if you're a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is a loving partnership. And it's interesting, normally I describe the King of Cups as the king who doesn't really know how he feels. Well, he does know how he feels about the Queen of Cups, and these are coming out as a pair with the Two of Cups, which is a loving partnership. I mean, you can't get a better outcome for that. So this is an interesting week. You have some releasing to do and some tying up of loose ends, which is going to leave you free to allow in a new love connection. The business of being single, you're not really looking forward to, but it's going to be so good for you. If there's been a twin flame connection in the past that you've been separated and left you feeling like you don't know how to progress, I wouldn't worry, because things are improving. There is going to be a sharing of energy. There's going to be a true exchange with messages coming in and potentially Cupid's arrows, because at the outcome we've got the Two of Cups. So this is really, really good news. Try not to be fearful of the changes that are coming, because they're going to be so good for you. And it looks like you're coming into partnership, particularly if you're a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. True partnership is what's on offer, finally. Well, what a reading. I'm so pleased, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you and your situation in the future. And if you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until the next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.